we have this brand new hero of the month, Zagrog. Zagrog? Yeah, Zagrog. I don't know if it could be pronounced any other way, but I know you're going to correct me in the comments, which is totally fine. Brand new hero of the month. First and foremost, dude's a rogue class, which obviously we know is pretty awesome. And I'll get into his passive abilities at the end because there's some very, very important things that you need to really understand about this character that I don't think that most people know about. So I'm going to get into that a little bit later. 772, 751 defense, and 1394 on his health. So I did research this quite a bit. With him dealing 430% damage to the target and minor damage to nearby enemies. We have no heroes that are in red that are at average speed dealing target and minor damage. We only have target and target and nearby enemies, but nothing that's dealing minor damage. So the closest kind of thing that I found was Thorn in blue, which deals 490% to the target and minor damage. However, Thorn has a whole lot lower attack power, whereas this guy's at 772. So let me just say that this is a lot of damage. Just to give you some reference, we have Sororsi, which is at 315 to the target and nearby. It's not minor, but that's at slow speed. We have Mitsuko, which is at target and nearby, but that's at 245. Queen of Hearts in red is also at 230 to the target at average speed. We do have Marjana at fast at 358, but it's minor. So in terms of damage, this guy is going to be dealing a lot of damage unexpectedly, which is pretty cool. I do like that. Now, the big thing that is really cool about Zagrog is that the attack bypasses the defensive buffs and includes counterattacks. So we know like Ferrent is like going crazy right now. You know, a lot of people are using him in the red wars and stuff like that. Even top alliances are using a 4-star maxed all the way out and emblemed. So being able to just say forget that and gets past the counterattacks is actually very good. Not to mention it's a lot of damage. Again, 430% is a lot of damage. So he also gains 20% mana if any defensive buffs were bypassed. So I haven't had the chance to try this out, but that's still going to be pretty great. So being able to hit, you know, say you're bypassing 3 different things. So what's cool too, I don't know if the stacks, you guys can let me know in the comments, if somebody has counterattack as well as defensive increase. I wonder if that's going to count as 40% versus just 20% because you're bypassing 2. But but it is actually, it's only going to be 20% mana in general for defensive buffs. So that's not going to be for each defensive buff. So just retract what I just said. In terms of him getting 20% mana on each defensive buff per bypassed, it's only going to be an opportunity to gain 20% regardless of it, which is pretty good. You know, you're now considering yourself getting yourself at fast speed on the second hit. And there are a fair amount of opportunities to where you will bypass. Because a lot of times too, we have essentially this elemental link, you guys can see, gives plus 20% defense for 4 turns. So this is quite frequently that we have different little elemental link type stuff that is giving the increased defense. We just don't really notice it too much. I haven't checked if this goes through. I'm assuming it will go through on the Paladin class. So that would also count as well. There's a lot of little different things that aren't completely figured out with Zagrog in terms of like, will it work on this versus will it not? So to make things even more complicated, his passive, this is the only time that we've had a passive effect that is actually negative. I think this is the first time that we have a negative passive attack. So he has an innate resistance against all status effects and stacks that affect attack. This includes buffs. So if you're trying to increase his attack power with Wukong, Tarlak, Miki, anything like that, Regard costume, he won't be able to get increased attack. However, he doesn't get negative attack situations. So if anybody's trying to reduce his attack, it won't reduce it either way. And we also have this situation to where He has an innate resistance against status ailments and negative stacks that affect mana generation. Also applies to status ailments that block mana or steal mana. So this will not counteract like Alfriki, anything that's going to cause you to do like a mindless attack. It's not the same. But characters like Hell will stop it, and anything that is also like stealing mana as well too. So again, I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments as far as which individual heroes. I think there's like a bunch of different ones. It's a bunch of different little scenarios on this, but if there's a negative mana side effect to it that either blocks mana or steals mana, he just says no, that doesn't work on him. So what I like about him, he's got kind of like a cool passive that can go against him, but it's pretty cool to where, you know, it definitely impacts things against Titans. So in terms of using this character, I wouldn't recommend using him on Titans at all, obviously, because a huge part of Titans is being able to increase your attack. Defense might have a place. I would kind of consider him a bit of like a Thorn type prospect, which, you know, randomly there's just times where a Thorn goes off and he hits you and you're just like, wow, that really hurts. This character will hit, and it will be underestimated on defense. I can already see that happening. It's not going to feel good when this guy hits you. On offense, probably could be pretty cool. Obviously, very situational in terms of being able to bypass the defensive buffs. So that will come in quite handy. Overall, I actually like this character, being that he's a rogue. One of the better Hero of the Months that we've seen that have come out. In red, I could definitely see a lot of people using him and being quite effective using him on offense. So let me know in the chat, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Zagrog? Okay. All right. All right, let me pull up. We'll go through comments, and then I'll probably fly into getting into all the different stuff with the so let me go through the calendar real quick. Have I compared him to Astrus? It's a good point. I don't think I had Astrus up. That might have been one that I didn't have. Astrus, Empires and Puzzles. So Astrus, okay, so yeah, he's at 235 to the target nearby enemies. Reduces duration, buffs, receive the corrosive poison. Yeah, so I would definitely choose Zagrog over Astrus. Astrus has a little bit more attack power, but still the 430 is gonna be it's gonna be a lot. Yeah, because let's see, is Astrus, see, it's slow too. Oh, I wonder if I had the old version. Oh no, he is at average still. Okay. Oh, Cave Crush does 430 and minor damage as well. Oh yeah, because I didn't have Cave Crush in there. Good point. Puzzles. You are correct. Cave Crush does too. Probably should compare them against each other. So now you might be wondering, if you just got Cave Crush as well as Zagrog, which one do I level up? Because actually Cave Crush is right at 430 as well too. So between the two, I think obviously they're both going to be situationally offensive heroes. Cave Crush is going to be preventing the resurrection, whereas Zagrog is going to be going up against the bypass the defensive buffs. In my opinion, Zagrog's probably going to come in a little bit more handy because there are so many situations to where they have defensive buffs. So being able to bypass that, including the counterattack, is probably going to be a bit more useful. Now, with that being said, obviously in the very fast wars and the resurrection, that kind of stuff like that, Cave Crush could have the potential to really take off, but we're not seeing too much resurrection effects that are going on besides the very fast wars. So between the two, currently Zagrog might make for a better prospect of using that character.